Hi, and welcome to CryptoBiography. I'm your host, Brandon Starr. This is episode 308 of CryptoBiography, and it is part 15 of The Brick Wall. And here we go. Carson covered up and took a step backward. He could feel the rope at his back. He looked through his hands. Two-Shot was there, throwing blows. He seemed to be mostly trying to get a knockout blow to the head while Carson was still dazed. But Carson wasn't dazed any longer. He waited for his opponent to throw one more flurry, then stepped to the side and threw a hard punch to the ribcage. It was too high even for this referee to call it as a low blow. Two-Shot winced and stepped back. Carson followed. He threw several hard punches, but Two-Shot was covering his head, and Carson wasn't sure how low he could throw his punches. He punched hard with a right hook to the side of his opponent's raised gloves, knocking him to the side. He then jabbed with the same hand, hoping to pull the defense to that side. It worked, and then he swung hard with a left hook to his opponent's cheek. He stumbled back, completely off balance, until the ropes caught him. Carson chased, and seeing an opening, threw a hard right. Two-Shot went to the floor. Carson roared and backed off to the center of the ring. The referee was very slow to start his count, and even when he looked over, saw Carson in the middle of the ring, and yelled, "Neutral corner!" Carson backed to a neutral corner, but the count was even more delayed. Two-Shot got to his feet around a very slow 7, and was given the go-ahead by the referee to continue. If it had been a real count, the match would have been over. The referee restarted the match, and Carson looked hard for another opening, but there wasn't much time in the round. They went to their corners. Two-Shot had taken a couple of good blows, but now he had recovered. They met like bulls in the middle of the ring, both angry, both looking to end the fight with a big hit. Both swung blows, both missed, both hit, and so both took hits. Carson threw a blow, but it was blocked, and Two-Shot came around his defenses and hit him hard on the cheek. Pain popped in his head, and he tasted blood and felt something hard roll into his mouth. His weakened molar had come free. He turned his head towards his corner and spat his tooth in its direction. Then he turned back to his opponent and saw again the pustules and other marks of disease, and again his opponent became the embodiment of the killer of his family. But this time, from pain or the taste of blood, he kept a little of his reason. Two-Shot was constantly looking for his signature combination. Both blows were about the same distance. What would happen if he started moving in and out more? The next jab he saw, he ducked and went in, and the cross wasn't set up properly because of it. He threw short hooks, mostly to the top of the ribcage. Two-Shot was forced to back off. He threw a few jabs on the way out to keep Carson at bay. A few exchanges later, Two-Shot threw another jab. This time, Carson let himself get hit slightly, knowing that the cross would be coming. This time, he backed up, and the cross couldn't follow. Two-Shot tried, but the punch was out of range. Carson followed this up with a punch directly into the center of the chest, and then another one hard to the temple. Two-Shot was hurt. He tried to clinch Carson, but Carson danced out of it, then kept swinging. Most still missed as Two-Shot was moving quickly, still trying to follow Carson to get a clinch and rest. Carson backed up once more, and as Two-Shot followed, stepped to the side and punched right at Two-Shot's flat nose. His opponent's momentum took him directly into Carson's blow, and his head snapped back. He hit the canvas hard. The crowd roared. Carson danced back into the closest neutral corner, not wanting to give the referee another excuse to slow the count. But it didn't matter. Even as the referee counted, slowly, to 8, then 9, then 10, Two-Shot had not moved. Carson had won. The crowd in the gymnasium went into pandemonium, with everyone screaming their excitement at the finish of the fight, at Carson's victory. He looked around for Lydia. He saw her at his corner. She was reaching into the ring to grab his lost tooth. She had tears in her eyes. The referee lifted Carson's arm and proclaimed him the victor, but he was looking at Lydia. She was looking back at him, resolutely not crying, and holding her hands together, protecting his tooth. The rest of the time in the gym was a blur he couldn't really remember. As soon as it was possible, he took her hand and they walked home. "You still have my tooth?" he asked. "Yes, in my pocket. Safe," she replied. "You okay?" he asked. "Yes," she said. He wasn't convinced, but allowed her dignity. He squeezed her hand just a little. When they got to their home, he stopped and held onto her hand. She looked up at him. "You don't like watching me get hurt?" No, I don't." Well, I don't think that tooth can be put back in. No. So keep it. Keep it? Like a child's lost tooth. Maybe we'll have kids soon. You'll keep their teeth, won't you? Yes. Well, keep mine too. I may lose more. I'll try not to, but I can't promise I won't. But you know what? What? I don't want to stop. Even though I lost a tooth tonight, I'm happy. I'm happy because I won. I beat someone with real skill. If I have to lose a tooth for every real victory, that's a price I'll gladly pay. And I want you by my side for every fight, win or lose. Lydia, who had started to look down, looked up at him again. Now she couldn't stop the tears. Okay, win or lose, even when you get hurt, I'll be there, cheering you on. Thank you, my heart, my love, my dear, dear Lydia. She said nothing, but buried her head in his chest. And that's the end of the episode for this week. Obviously, it went pretty quickly. Action scenes tend to write and read both very quickly, I've noticed. So and this one was like 2/3 action scene, and it was a little shorter than usual anyway. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions about this episode or previous episodes, cryptobiography@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook or Twitter. And thanks for listening. Words and music, copyright 2023, CryptoBiography LLC, all rights reserved. Characters and events are fictional, fictionalized, or satirical.